Hello, BookTube. I'm Peg, the Book Prize addict. I'm here today to kind of talk about a couple prizes that I plan to be following kind of for the rest of the year, or at least through November, rather than try to follow every prize I've ever heard of. I've decided to kind of follow ones that I like that type of thing more. So I have three here I want to just talk about that I'll be talking about sometime. I haven't read all of them yet. One of them actually is going to be awarded tomorrow, so I wanted to talk about it. But okay, first of all, I want to talk about the Goldsmiths Prize. If you're not aware, that's the one given for innovative literature, innovative novels, fiction. Really, it's been going on, I think, for about 5 years now, and I always try to read them, and sometimes I have a little problem, but I've come to learn a little bit more how to get into these things. I have all the books that are on the list, but I want to show you the one I'm starting on now. It's called We Are Made of Diamond Stuff by Isabel Wadner, and she won a prize last year for her first novel called Gaudy Bubble. And both of them are kind of confusing when you start. It's like, what's this is about? Which a lot of innovative literature seems to be that way. It takes at least 2 or 3 readings to get familiar. They might have non-living characters, or written in strange structures, or just different things. But I've come to find out that it helps a lot if the author or someone gives you the slightest bit of help in getting used to the book. And for example, I want to talk about the innovative book called 3 Dreams in the Key of G by our own booktuber, Mark Nash. He put this out, I guess it was 1.5 years ago. And Mark has made several videos explaining the book. He's had several interviews that you can find on YouTube. He has gone to great length to help people understand this book. It has 3 main characters: mother, crone, and creatrix, and actually a lot about the DNA in a genome is one of the characters. It's just really well done, but it helps to know a little bit about it to figure it out, and he's done a great job of helping us with that. So when I got to this year's list, We Are Made of Diamond Stuff, and I began realizing it and realizing again it's has some unusual characters. I began seeing what I could read on it. And I have to tell you, if you're on Goodreads, there are some great reviews. Some of the people who are on my favorite Goodreads forum, the Mooks and Gripes, have been judges in this and other innovative book contests, and they've all written excellent reviews on this. And just yesterday, Eric, I always say his name wrong, Eric, the Lonesome Reader, wrote a great review. He put it on his blog, and I was going to give you that, but he also put it on his Goodreads, and you can find it there. Just look up this book, and there aren't that many reviews of it, so you'll see Eric's real clearly. But some of the others talked about how to kind of approach this innovative literature, and in fact, especially Isabel Wadner's. I shouldn't say she, they, is all of a sudden I get my words confused. I don't want to get in trouble, but the kind of thing you don't say she or he, transgender. Yeah. Anyway, and the people in this are also are referred to as they, them, etc. There's actually 2 main characters: the narrator and another person named Shay. It takes place on the Isle of Wight, and I read one review of a person who I guess lives on the Isle of Wight or has been there a lot, and he said it is dead on getting the atmosphere of the Isle of Wight, kind of a cross between Victorian scenery and sleazy tourism, and it was really interesting. So in fact, all these were interesting. All the things I read on Goodreads were interesting, and one of those suggested this other book by Isabel Widener called Liberating the Canon, where she has a long foreword on what she considers innovative literature and how she goes about it. And I have to say, she makes a big deal of saying it's a mix of the avant-garde art. She refers to other art besides literature, and the new transgender, transsexual feelings that are going around. And once you know that, it's a lot easier to pick onto. Anyway, on this one, she wrote to several of her author friends who she knew were into innovative literature, and had them send a piece of their work. And there's some that you'll be familiar with if you've been following innovative literature, the Goldsmiths or the Republic of Consciousness Prize. But I have to tell you one more thing about the publisher. It's Dostoevsky Wannabe. And this is a completely independent publisher. They say they're nonprofit, and they make no profit at all. They do it a little differently. They don't print their own books. They publish them on Amazon and just charge what they would charge. The two novels are both under $6 if you order it from Amazon, and they aren't doing it to get money. And if you have Prime shipping, they come free. So I could resist getting all these. Okay, so if you're into innovative literature or want to be more into it, I'd say start out getting these two and reading. Both of them have excellent reviews and a lot of talk about them on Goodreads. That really helped me get into them and what to look for and what to appreciate, and gave me so much more appreciation for this. Okay, the next one I want to talk about, the next prize I'm going to be following, is the National Book Award, but only the translations part. It has the best novel, best nonfiction, best poetry, and they've added in the last few years the best translations, which I love. What am I doing? Am I looking for? I'm looking for it. Yeah, okay. And so I'm going to be reading those through the next month or so. I have 3 of them here. 2 are still on hold at the library. But the one is called Death is Hard Work, and it is translated, it has to do with 2 young men in Syria who have a very, very bad time of it and decide to leave and go to Italy. And it's the story about the hard time they have there. One has questions about his sexuality and gender, and they feel less at home in Italy than they did at home, evidently. And I think that's going to be a good one. Another one is called Crossing, and it is translated from the Finnish. Did I get these mixed up? I think I might have got those mixed up. I think that's what the other one was about. Oh well, I haven't read them yet, so I'll make them clear when I read them, which one's about which. I remember now. Death is Hard Work is about Syria, but it has to do with a man and a young brother and sister who are their father is dead, and he wants to be buried at a special place, so they have to take his body across the war zone to get to the place, and I think it's black humor. Crossing, on the other hand, is about the 2 men from communist Albania that go to Italy and have their problems there, newcomer problems, and finding a home. Okay, the other one I have that I've already gotten from the library. It's called The Memory Police. It's translated from the Japanese, and it's a kind of an Orwellian dystopian type novel that deals, there's an island somewhere that people tend to lose things. All of a sudden things are gone, or ideas are gone, or words are gone, and they don't even realize they're gone, except certain people do realize it, and they're hunted down by the memory police who don't want people remembering this. Sounds kind of interesting, I'll see. Okay, I'll be talking about those later this month. Okay, the big one is the DAGGER Prizes, which is the European or the English version of what we call our Edgar Awards or Best Mysteries. And I love it because it's mainly books from places that are foreign to me. In other words, the UK. There's books from, of course, from England, from Scotland, from Ireland, from Wales, and they're all mysteries from those, so they're very new to me, and I feel like they do such a good job of portraying the atmosphere of the place, and there's a lot of words, even though they're written in English, that I have to look up to understand exactly what it is. And I just love this part of the daggers. Now, I am going to read some of the other daggers, but I'm especially interested in their, they have the Golden Daggers, which is best novel written in English, and usually they're all from England. I don't think there's any from American authors there. And then they have the best New Blood, that's the best debut, and that has some good looking ones on it. And they have the best international dagger, which is translated. Again, I like translated. And let me just go through them quick. This is A Long Night in Paris, translated from the French. The Cold Summer, translated from Italian. The Forger, translated from German. And The Root of Evil, this is a popular novelist or crime novelist, translated from Swedish. I think there's a couple of these that I don't have yet. Anyway, and the other one I really like is the Historical Dagger. It's historical mysteries. And I'll just show you a few. One of the big ones that I've heard a lot about is called Blood and Sugar. It's also on the debut list, and it has to do with England in the 1700s, late 1700s. So that looks good. Yeah. Okay, so they're having a big dinner in London tomorrow night to announce the winner of all these daggers. I've put it below that you can kind of look through them. I'm going to try not to look at the winners till I've read them all and made my own decisions, but we'll see how that goes. So, okay, I'll be back with more prize book reviews later. Thanks. Bye.